Hey guys, SPSD here. I'm here to bring you another Overwatch video. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of new content for Overwatch, so you guys got a lot of these videos coming out. Today's subject, like I said, my first line of videos, I want to be mostly focusing on, way players approach the game, their mentality and stuff like that, as opposed to just getting right in there and talking about what the current meta is with the heroes and what's the strongest. Today we're going to be talking about, in general, being a good team player in more relations to not AFKing and when it's acceptable. Well, it's never really acceptable to AFK, let's be honest, but when AFKing is just really messed up as opposed to when it's kind of like, okay, well, you had to go do something, that's alright. There's two major modes, quick play and competitive play. Now, in quick play, it's just, a pickup game. It puts you with random people. Nothing a little bit too serious about that. Generally that's where people are going to level up until 25. You can't do competitive or ranked until 25. I mean, that's pretty much about it. It's nothing too crazy about that. It's nothing, that's obviously not, it's pretty straightforward. When you AFK in a quick play match, which you shouldn't do, you should always try to work it out with your team. You want to, get your most experience. And plus, a lot of times you do learn a lot, from certain things and such, like, how to play from behind and how to take a team that's not functioning well and maybe trying to communicate with people and make things a lot better. In quick play, if you do AFK enough times, first couple times it's forgiven because, it's only quick play. People might have things to do. Maybe one of the kids fell off the stairs, God forbid, or, you got a sudden call or you got to use the bathroom, and you leave the game. You don't take a loss, but if you repeatedly do this, you end up getting, at the worst, a 75% experience loss. And for a certain amount of games or a certain amount of time, I'm not too for sure. So, for instance, I remember one day I got a slew of games where I had to go, and I ended up getting an AFK penalty because there was a couple games just left. Because, well, that's in hindsight, but I went to sleep, woke up, I thought the next day I had to come back and play through the experience penalties, which is fine. I'll take that. But it was gone, so I don't know if it's actually done based upon time. There's a certain amount of time that passes and everything's okay, or if it's based upon the simple thing of you have to play through so many games. I played through so many games before when I had that and whatever. And now that there's competitive, well, I guess if people want to leave games, they're going to leave games. But like I said, just talking about in general casual mode, you shouldn't do it, but if something happens, that's why it's, well, I won't say casual mode, but we'll just say quick play mode. There's nothing, I don't feel anything too wrong with it. It does kind of hurt your team, but you'll get a replacement. If you do it enough times, you do get an experience penalty, and that will cut down on how fast you're leveling and how many loot boxes you get, since you get one every level. And that's typically about it. There are sometimes, I understand why people leave. There's been a lot of times, and this is before rank come out or before, things got separated, but just in general, if I'm inside of a game and I'm just there to learn how to play a character, to get better, which I think what a quick play is definitely good for now since we do have ranked, that's okay. So if people used to start going crazy or flaming or trolling a game in which you're in because they don't like your choice, especially in quick play when there's no, competitive points on the line, I can understand you just ditching that game. There's been some games where I had like 5 Genjis on defense, and I'm like, I just kind of want to play a normal game, and I left the game and I take the penalty. I really don't care. Had a game where we had like 3 Mai's ice blocking us in the most inappropriate ways, and that was just ruining the whole experience. And since people are not getting judged on points or anything like that in this quick play, people really don't try, which is okay. So if you get into certain situations and things like that, and it's just frustrating, and you're actually trying to learn how to play the game a little bit better, or play a little bit more seriously, but you don't want to go in ranked yet because maybe you don't know how to play the character yet, or you don't, you're practicing, then okay, it's okay to quit or leave, find another game, because that'll be more productive. And this is a non-ranked environment, and you'll only lose a certain amount of points, or not points, I'm sorry, you only get the experience penalty after so many. And that's just how it goes sometimes. I still don't think you should, but it's in quick play. I understand a lot of people do silly stuff, a lot of people do trolly stuff, so I can understand. So that's quick play. If you got to do it, I understand some things happen, you take the penalty, it is what it is, not a big deal. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more complex, because we're done talking about quick play. We're going to be talking about ranked. Ranked is, for anybody, you know, it's still the game and having fun, but what you have to realize is once you step in the world of competitive play, it never becomes just a game anymore. I mean, it's still just a game, and, you know, people want to have fun and stuff like that, but now you're actually playing for competitive points, and people are taking the game a lot more seriously now. Once you step into the world of ranked, there are harsh penalties for when people AFK, but just in general, when you play ranked, people are going to try hard, people are going to, you know, try to do a lot better, take the game more seriously, because that's the whole point of ranked. But in regards to talking about AFKing and ranked, let me just tell you some stuff here. If you have a problem when your game keeps crashing, and you have knowledge of your game crashing, then you shouldn't play ranked until you figure out the issue. And now, I know that sounds like, well, yeah, Debo, that's common sense, but, you know, I've been reading a lot through the forums, and people have been trying to justify the AFKing inside of competitive play, which I believe, I don't see things in shades of gray in terms of understanding everybody's, you know, situation. I kind of just feel this way. It's either black or white. You either AFK or you're not. I don't care if you got disconnects or you got problems. I don't care if the game crashes. Now, if this happens once in a while, that's perfectly fine. But if you keep getting the issue of where your game keeps crashing or you keep constantly getting disconnects, it's up for the responsibility of the player to figure out those issues and fix it out. And if it's something on Blizzard's side, then that sucks, but you have to figure it out. Don't play competitive until it gets figured out, or we'll see what's going on. You know, that's just being a responsible person, but a lot of people don't seem to do that. So I've been reading a lot of things in the comments section or inside of the Reddit and also on Battle.net forums, and it just seems like people don't want to be accountable for their actions. And I'm just here not to sugarcoat it, to be very honest. I had one individual say every time I log into rank, my game would close out and my screen would go blank, and then now I got reported, or now I got flagged for AFK. And if you don't know, in competitive play, if you AFK enough, they'll ban you for a whole season. Season's about 3 months, so 4 seasons a year. If you mess up or do something in the spring, and, you know, first week you AFK enough or leave the game so much, you automatically will be banned for the rest of the season, which I agree with, until the next season, which would then be summer. Just like if you did something during the summer, you'd be banned until, you know, fall into winter, and so on and so forth. But what I've learned, a lot of people, they always try to say, oh, well, you can't blame it for disconnects. If you're constantly disconnecting, you shouldn't be playing ranked. I played a lot of ranked. I have never disconnected, well, at all in ranked, and quick play once in a blue moon. Now, I'm not saying that maybe I'm just lucky and other people have really bad problems, but if you're having a problem where you're disconnecting every single match, you probably should not play ranked. Not because we don't want you to play, but just imagine if your connection is good. Let's say you figured out your problem, and then you get into your games in a team-based game, and your people on your team started to disconnect the whole time. And currently in ranked, what makes it even worse now is that currently, I hope they fix this in the future, they're going to have to, is if somebody on the enemy team, let's say you're winning, they get mad and they rage quit. When that one person leaves the game, even if you're winning, you'll go from, let's say, getting 100 points of experience all the way down to like 10 to 20. Now, I know that sounds crazy. These aren't the exact numbers, but if you're winning and the enemy team decides to just leave in ranked, or they rage out, or they disconnect, or whatever happens, or even somebody on your team infects the overall amount of experience points you get in ranked, and then you pretty much take a huge amount of loss. Now, this can be pretty terrible because a lot of people are trying to do things along the lines of, I heard this one story, I was watching a YouTube video where this gentleman was playing competitive play. They got ahead and they were winning, and they were basically pressuring the enemy team off the point. I do believe it was King of the Hill. They pushed them back all the way to the spawn point and were killing everybody. And a person on the enemy team said this is very unsportsmanlike and it's, you know, blah, 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 which I don't really think it's unsportsmanlike. It's within the realms of the game, so basically that person can do whatever they want. But long story short, that person got offended, and he said, if you keep doing this, I'm going to go ahead and AFK so you lose points. And that's what a lot of people have actually been doing, and threatening people by AFKing and making so the winning team doesn't get as many points, or gets 1/10 of the points, or whatever it is of what they normally would get. Partial blame on Blizzard, partial blame on the community of people who do this. But the thing that drives me nuts is that that guy who ends up eventually getting banned or getting in trouble would be the first guy to say, oh, well, it wasn't my fault, it was disconnects or something like that. Or maybe he was disconnecting himself from the game to show that it was disconnects. And this is why I think we need to have a black or white system where it doesn't see shades of gray. There is no in between. If you disconnect, you lose, you take all the points lost. I don't think anybody should else be affected or anything like that. But Blizzard's worried that if people disconnect and, you know, you get a bunch of points or something like that, then people will start trying to bully people so that they, you know, AFK out of the game or they leave. And then, you know, people get easy points or people can just leave, or, you know, the people that are still there don't take any penalty. I think if somebody AFKs on your team, you just take the penalty and you take the loss, which is unfortunate. But to penalize the winning team for that is pretty terrible, and that's the current state of ranked right now. And a lot of people, I can definitely see them saying things along the line of, hey, you know, I'm not going to win. I don't like this enemy team. It's not fair. I'm frustrated. I'm just going to leave. Fuck this team. And screw them out of their points that they should have gotten. And, you know, and if I get banned or whatever, then I'll just try to lie and maybe get it overturned by Blizzard. I haven't heard of anybody doing this, getting their stuff overturned. But it seems like there's a lot of people in forums really just trying to paint these fabricated what-if scenarios of why, you know, they have to leave or they're getting AFK ranked. Which, to me, is a crock of shit. You know, it's pretty straightforward. Rank is competitive. If you have problems with your computer or slowdowns, you should not play ranked. If you have disconnect problems, you should not play ranked. If you're going to the game and the game crashes every time you pick Lucio, or you see a Lucio on your screen, you should not play ranked. You should take responsibility and get those things figured out before you step into the world of rank, because people are being competitive. Just like how you want understanding to everything that happens to you and what happens to your game, or how things may or may not go play well for you, you want people on your team, or when you're going against any team and you're about to win, you don't want them to AFK, do you? Or have disconnect problems and keep doing this kind of stuff and you lose out on points, right? It's not fair. You know, so I really think Blizzard should just treat it like, you know, a very straightforward case. And if you're having these problems and you know you're having these problems, the responsibility is up to you. If you keep getting disconnects and you keep playing ranked, I think you should be banned for the whole season. You should know better. If you keep playing and you know you're getting computer crashes or slowdowns and it's making you lag out the game or making your game crash, you should be banned from competitive if you keep doing it. There's no reason to do that. And unless Blizzard adopts like a really strict penalty, this is actually going to come back to bite us in the butts, because competitive play is quite crazy right now as we currently speak. But like I said, that'll be another video when I talk specifically what's been going on rank. But I just wanted to talk about just in general people's minds of like AFKing and whether or not it's a disconnect or whatever. And I'm just trying to say here, you know, if it's a casual play game, whatever. But once you step into the realm of ranked, you need to be held accountable. You shouldn't, you know, AFK if you get mad or rage out because it's not worth it, or you can, and you'll eventually just get banned for the whole season, which is fine. And then if you're caught cheating, you know, that's a whole nother video, another thing. But if you get caught cheating like some people have, you just get banned forever, for the most part. But, you know, don't play ranked if you got an attitude where you might rage out and quit. But if you do that, you'll get banned. If you got computer problems or anything like that, just, it's not, like, I see a lot of people in the forums trying to justify everything that people might go through and giving thumbs up. And, you know, to me, I think that's just a crock of shit. People need to be responsible. People need to stop being silly. People need to stop listing all these certain scenarios that are rare and like, oh, what if this and this and that? No, it's really simple. If you're having problems, don't play ranked until you get them fixed. If your internet provider's crazy, I mean, we dealt with this in many years of League of Legends, and you don't play. And this is the mentality I'm just trying to get across to people. Just, you don't want to be a person that, you know, always tries to pitch this story that fits to you about how you had to go rescue a burning building full with orphans and save, you know, a local, you know, vet full with all these pets that were in harm, and you had to save all these people, and you came back and you couldn't rejoin the game in ranked, and I shouldn't get penalized for that. I mean, that's what people are trying to fabricate, or trying to pitch all these stories showing that, or saying that, you know, Blizzard shouldn't be as harsh and ranked. And I think, based on how many years I've played, you know, League of Legends ranked and other ranked games, that they should be this harsh, because no one wants to come into a competitive play and get people who just simply either will leave to spite you or just leave because they're raging out. I mean, those people don't have any place in the game for competitive play. And the current state of competitive, like I said before numerous times in this video, is that if anybody leaves, even on your enemy team, even if you're winning, I mean, I had a game where somebody on my team left and we were winning, and we ended up winning anyway. We still got less points, but a lot of people are leaving games that they're losing because they figure they're going to get a loss anyway. And to spite the enemy team from getting their points, you know, they will leave. And like I said, this is a problem on Blizzard's part because they made the system like this, which is really weird, and they got to figure out a way to deal with this because it's very depressing when you're supposed to get, let's say, 100 points and then one person on the enemy team AFKs and you only get 20. That's just not right, and it makes it really hard to climb. You know, or if somebody on your team leaves but you still pull out the win and you still, you know, only get the certain reduced amount of points. So Blizzard's gonna have to do something with it, but like I said, I'm just kind of making this video just to kind of spread the awareness of what's going on with the current AFK situation. Like I said, if you just want to play and have fun and bullshit around and you want to leave whenever, that's quick play. But once you step into the world of ranked, at least in my opinion, or at least what I'm just trying to make out there, it is always your responsibility. You know what you go through, you know what computer issues you have. Don't try to blame anybody else or fabricate these stories. If you can't, you know, play through a whole match, or you having problems or issues, that's your fault. If you're raging out and you're leaving, that's your fault. Because at the end of the day, when you play ranked and you try to rank up and you want to get all this stuff done, you know, the same guy who AFK'd the other game to screw the enemy team out of their points would be the same guy complaining about how I got AFKers or whatever on the forums on Blizzard, you know, and that I really think a lot of people do that because it's really straightforward. But I mean, that's pretty much it on the thoughts about the whole AFK thing. Just try not to be an AFK in competitive play. If it's quick play, try not to do it too often, but you do take a penalty. It is what it is. Quick play, like I said, I really don't care because it doesn't matter. But if you're playing ranked play, there's no excuse for it, and you will get punished accordingly. And if you do get banned for the season, just don't be one of those people that go out there and try to fabricate the story about how, you know, this happened and I was having issues. And no, you should know better. And I mean, we're all adults, or most of us are. Just people just need to be responsible for their actions. But I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel. Let me know your certain experiences with the AFK situation going competitive, or let me know if you guys don't even like AFKers and, you know, casual matches that really pisses you off or something like that. You know, just let me share me your stories in the comments section below and I'll respond to them. Make sure you guys share this video with your friends and like and thumbs up so we can get a good discussion going, and so that we can start circulating these videos around, so we can start getting players thinking in the right frame of mind and not being little turds and trying to be good team players. Because at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is just spread this information about how to be a good player in Overwatch. You know, you don't have to be a MLG 360 no scope kind of guy. You just need to be that guy that can do his job. He could be that guy or gal who could do that job on their team and play a very good standard play and be a good overall player, and, you know, raise the competitive nature of the game, and everybody benefits, as opposed to just having a system where, or having a community where everybody's just doing this very negative type of horrible behavior, not playing as team players, you know, doing things that are harmful for the game that really don't help better the player community in general. Because, you know, instead of, like I said before, instead of just complaining about stuff, I want to try to do something to fix it. So if we spread awareness about it and maybe change players' perspectives, maybe we can make people be more honorable, at least in competitive play, be more team players and not do silly things. But anyways, as always, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Like, share, subscribe, all that blah blah blah. Leave any comments how you guys feel below there in the comment section. I will get back to you, and I hope you guys have a good day and enjoy yourselves. I'm Debo, and I'm out.